Okay, final email sent. Damn, I'm so tired from yesterday's short but really intense calisthenics training session. I think I earned some delicious food, but I'm so tired I'll take the car to the grocery store instead of walking. Hey bro, just because you train for 45 minutes 3 times per week calisthenics doesn't mean you should skip your 10,000 steps per day. Here. Okay, relax. I'll get my steps in. Thank you. Okay, better head out. So walking, one of the most underrated tools for you whether or not you want to live a long healthy life or you want to get truly shredded, for instance to break some record. On this channel we talk about leveraging the most efficient tools to get the maximum bang for the buck with the least amount of effort. So that means basic calisthenics, and yes, in calisthenics we have some beautiful moves and somewhat flashy moves when we think about like the muscle ups, but it's really about training the basic exercises 3 times per week for around 45 minutes. Then eating cleaner, but not some specific diet, especially managing the calories in, calories out, and getting enough protein. In addition to that, I do once per week cardio, but each and every day it's really important to get 10,000 steps in. Now, when I think about myself, on average, I walk every day over 10,000 steps. So that means that I roughly walk around 8 kilometers or 5 miles per day. But when you think about walking 8 kilometers, 5 miles or 10,000 steps, that sounds kind of a lot. So you should break it down in chunks. To me, I would categorize it in 4 different chunks. Back and forth to lunch, I walk 2 kilometers. Then I walk to my workout spot or to the gym, in total 3 kilometers. Then I do fidgeting, taking out the trash and walking with friends. That's over 2 kilometers. And then grocery shopping. I never take the car, instead I do walking, and that adds another 2 kilometers. This is roughly around 11,000 steps per day. So why is walking such a profound tool? So for instance, if we think about getting truly shredded or living a long healthy life, it's about managing those calories. And for instance, when I train to the muscle up world record, one of the tools I use for recovery, but also in addition to burn more calories while not fatiguing myself. For instance, if I do a lot of cardio, I feel a lot hungrier to compare to when I do walking. I believe it's due to the ghrelin hormone that gets upregulated when we do a lot of running. So when I wanted to get down to 5% body fat, I made sure to burn around 3,000 calories per day, but my intake was at around 2,500 calories. This means that I'm in a about 17% calorie deficit, and the calorie deficit is the most important factor, not some diet, not ketogenic diet or intermittent fasting that I talk about, or Atkins or some diet. It is actually about managing the calories. So the calorie deficit is around 17%, 500 calorie deficit. That means that it takes around 15 to 16 days to burn 1 kilogram of fat. Because remember, 1 kilogram of fat is around 7,700 calories. I don't know what the US conversion is, but I think it's above 2 pounds of fat equals around 7,000 calories. So when we think about the basic metabolic rate, which means basically how much calorie do you burn per day on average at rest, then you add in digestion and also, for instance, exercise. Now, even though training can be really intense, it only accounts for around, roughly speaking, 10% of calorie burn per day. That means that you could be burning, for instance, in a really intense 45-minute workout, 300-400 calories. And that's why when we talk about that the abs are made in the kitchen, that if you then go back home and you eat a lot of garbage, then you won't lose any fat. But then if you do some additional activity like walking, you can burn the same amount of calories compared to your exercise session that you only do 3 times per week. If you do walking, then you will burn around 30 to 40 calories per 1,000 steps or 300 to 400 calories per 10,000 steps. So it's kind of a no-brainer walking every day, because you will get some nice fresh air, of course, and you will also maybe see some friends. And also it's great active recovery. It's not really strenuous for the nervous system. Another factor also that is underrated, that it's been shown to decrease all-cause mortality when you do a lot of walking. Because remember, we're kind of unique as a species. We walk on our 2 feet, and then we have our hands free to grab objects and you can interact with the environment. And that's really unique about humans, that we actually have evolved as a species, and that's why walking is such a foundational tool for us. But then when you think about sitting here in front of the computer, maybe you sitting here 8 to 10 hours per day, and then forgetting about walking and just maybe do, like I talk about, doing 45 minutes of exercise, there is kind of something that you probably also start to think that maybe this is not so good when you think about how we are evolved as a species. But even less more commonly known and discussed is that it's actually been shown to decrease all-cause mortality. For instance, chances of dying from cancer, Alzheimer's, dementia or a stroke, and so on. If you do more walking, you might have a greater chance of actually not suffering from this right now. Because two things that walking does to you, it supports your lean muscle mass, the musculoskeletal system, but also supporting your basic metabolic rate that we discussed, burning more calories, so it will help you to get to a lower body fat percentage. Again, this was one of my secret weapons that I used for breaking the national muscle up record. It wasn't just about eating right and doing a lot of muscle ups, but also walking is kind of nice when you just think about going out for a walk, a nice breeze walk with a friend, enjoying, for instance, beautiful Helsinki. There are many factors that are kind of soft that, yeah, it's kind of nice to go for a breeze walk, but also, especially, I think it's pretty cool to see that, hey, will decrease all-cause mortality. Of course, your chance of dying is 100%. That's what's being alive. The chance that you die right now will decrease if you put in the 10,000 steps. Thanks for watching. That's it for today. Hope you found this valuable. Hit the like button if you did, and especially leave a comment if you got in your 10,000 steps. Now remember that health is about physical and financial health. So remember to check this video out in order to improve your physical health with calisthenics, and check this video on financial health where I explain my investment philosophy. See you in the next video.